What's up, everybody? This is FBL Talk. This is my second video. So I'm basically going to be talking about tips for Game Week 7. Transfers, all the talk, basically, what teams you should be looking at, what players you should be looking at, and all the players you should be avoiding and stuff like that. So bear with me and let's do it. So obviously, we have some great fixtures coming up for Game Week 7. Here they are: West Ham taking on United. I would avoid both players from both of these teams because United very unpredictable right now. West Ham kind of in a good form but playing a tough team, so I would kind of avoid players from these two teams. Next up, Arsenal Watford. Again, I think this is a pretty good fixture for Arsenal. Home game. I think Watford's good run is kind of done. I don't think they're gonna win any more games. They will win obviously, but their good form, it's kind of gonna end right now, and I think Arsenal could, you know, win big here. And if you want to be looking at players from Arsenal, I obviously have Aubameyang, but I think you should go for Lacazette, cheaper, plays 90 minutes, and I think he's in great form, so I think he's gonna get more goals. Aubameyang obviously played in the Europa League, started against Everton, but came off in the 67th minute, which was surprising for me considering I thought he was going to be the first team striker, and he obviously is, but he gets 67 minutes and Lacazette got 90 minutes. So I'm still sticking with Aubameyang because I don't have the transfers. I'll reuse my transfer, so I have no choice. But if you're looking for Arsenal, I would look for Lacazette. I would avoid Aubameyang. I would avoid Ozil. Ozil I think is just very very overrated. I would, yeah, I would. The only Arsenal player I would go for realistically is Lacazette. So yeah, when it comes to Watford, I would go for Troy Deeney. I think Deeney is overlooked by a lot of FPL managers. I think he's a good asset. I think he's cheap in price and he could get goals. Arsenal's defense is very very shaky at the back, so I think this is going to be a very high scoring game. And I think Watford's not going to win, but they maybe still could get a point out of this game. But realistically, I think Arsenal should win this in good form, 5 on the spot. And yeah, next up, Everton Fulham. I think that's a great fixture for Everton. Fulham is just conceding goals for fun. Home game for Everton. I think it should be a walk in the park. Richarlison could be a differential captain too for me. It's risky, but he could be, considering his start to the season. And Walcott could shine here too, maybe. When it comes to strikers, Toshin obviously didn't start last week, so I would avoid him. Same with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There's just a lot of rotation when it comes to the striker for Everton, but I would either go for Richarlison or Theo Walcott. Huddersfield Spurs up next. I think this is the fixture of the week. I think Spurs have the easiest fixture alongside Man City, obviously, but yeah, I think if you have Kane, you have to captain him. Obviously, if you don't have Kane, it's gonna be tough to bring him in. If you don't have Kane, you obviously have Salah, so it's gonna be tough for me. But I would get a Spurs player in there for this week, possibly Lucas Moura. Not so sure about Son, considering Dele Alli's back. Christian Eriksen could be a differential, but I think Kane, Lucas Moura, and Trippier. I think these are good options for Spurs. And Huddersfield just on the. I think they're gonna get relegated this season. I think they have nothing going forward, and yeah, I think Huddersfield is just in trouble. Next up, Man City Brighton. This is just. I don't think I need to talk about this one. Should be a 5-0 win for Man City. Brighton, good start to the season when it comes to their home form. When it comes to their away form, I think they're absolutely not going to win this, not going to get anything out of this. They're not going to score. I think should be a clean sheet for City too, so get the defenders in. I hope Mendy wasn't injured so I could play him, but he's injured, so I transferred him out for Trippier, which I think isn't that bad. But yeah, I would possibly, if you don't have Harry Kane for me, I think you have to captain Sergio Aguero. I think he could get goals in this one. After that hat trick, Aguero's kind of been on and off. I thought he would get goals against, like he got a goal against Fulham, but I thought he would get another hat trick. But obviously his injury limited his time to 16 minutes. But I think Aguero could shine in this one. Leo Aston is in great form. I think he could start, but I still wouldn't take the gamble. I think it's too early in the FPL season. When it's later, you're down in your mini leagues, then you could put Sonny, as a differential. If he starts, nobody has him, get him in your team. But right now, I think Stick with players who start. Aguero, Bernardo Silva is a great option, very cheap. Gundogan, I think, proved all of us wrong, considering his position is not really attacking, but he got a goal and assist, 13 points last week, so that's great. Kyle Walker could be a differential, considering Mendy's injured, so I think Walker could be one. I mean, Delph is considered a midfielder, so obviously there's no point in getting him in, but yeah. Next up, Newcastle Leicester. Not really much to talk about this one. Newcastle are on the dip as well. Leicester, you gotta get James Maddison in. He's around 6.7 million. Great option. Very cheap. Getting the points. Vardy could be a differential pick as well, but I think a must from Leicester, James Maddison. Great option. Next up, Wolves Southampton. This is a pretty good fixture as well for Wolves. They're in good form. They're a great addition to the Premier League. And I think Jimenez could shine in this one. I have him in my team, so I think he's only 5 million. If you don't have him, if you're using your wild card, get him in. Another one is Ryan Bennett, 4 million. I think he's a must. He's an essential. 4 million. If a fixture's not good, put him on your bench. A fixture like this, start him. But yeah, I think this is a great game for Wolves. Southampton, kind of inconsistent. But obviously last game they didn't have Danny Ings against Liverpool, so they didn't get the goals. They didn't have the goal threat, but this is different. They have Ings back. I think they will score, but I think Wolves should win the game. I think Jimenez could get a goal or two in this one. Next up, Chelsea Liverpool. Yeah, this is a great game. Obviously, great players playing, but I wouldn't I don't think Hazard obviously they could score, but I would try to avoid these players right now. Salah. I mean, if you have him in your team, that's great. But don't captain. I don't think you should captain Hazard. Don't captain Salah, Mane, Robertson. Avoid Robertson if you don't bring him in, or if you have a transfer, possibly transfer him out. Bring Trippier in. I think Liverpool away. I think their form could end here. I don't think they're going to lose. I think this could be a very, very high-scoring draw, like 2-2. But, I mean, if you have Mane, Salah, Hazard, don't transfer him out. Just keep him in your team. But, yeah, I would avoid players from this fixture if I didn't own them. Sunday game, Cardiff, Burnley. Not much to talk about. I don't think many managers own players from these teams. But Burnley 4-0 win, obviously. Cardiff, I think they're going to get relegated. I think Burnley should get back-to-back wins, get their season up and running again. Bournemouth Palace, this is a pretty decent game. I mean, it's on Monday, so I kind of hate Monday games. They're kind of annoying because they kind of ruin all the average and stuff. I just want all the games to end on Sunday. But, I mean, Bournemouth Palace, I mean, I think I own Wan-Bissaka, so I think it could be a tough clean sheet for him. I think Bournemouth probably going to score. Their home. Palace obviously back-to-back clean sheets. But if you have Wan-Bissaka, I would still start him because his attacking threat is pretty good. Bournemouth are conceding goals for fun, but they're also scoring goals for fun. So I mean, Wilson, I don't own Wilson, but if you do, I think this is a good fixture for him. Joshua King, obviously. Fraser, I wish I owned Fraser. I'll probably bring him in for Walcott next game week if Walcott doesn't do anything this week. But yeah, Fraser. I wouldn't people asking me if we should captain Fraser, but I think that's too much. I think just stick with Fraser. Don't captain him. You have good players like Aguero, Kane. You could captain those. I mean, if you want to go for a really, really differential, I would captain Richarlison. I think against Fulham, it's a great fixture for him. So these are the fixtures for game week 7. Now let's look at my team for next week. I mean, obviously my rank, pretty good, pretty solid start. I made a video yesterday showing all my points from game week 1 to 6. And I only really made one mistake, which was game week 4, using my wild card way too early. But other than that, my points have been really, really good, actually. Not bragging or anything, but pretty solid rank. Top 50K and 4 or 5. And all my mini leagues. I'll drop my code in the description, so please join my league. Winner's going to get a prize at the end of the season. It's a pretty tight league, so it's pretty fun. Just join it. We got 20 people so far. Just subscribe, join, and let's do it. This is my team for this upcoming game week. Ederson, she should get a clean sheet. I mean, Brighton have been scoring goals, but it's an away game against Man City. The only player who I kind of I'm afraid of, who could win the clean sheet, is Glenn Murray. 4 goals to start the season. good start for him. But I think City should be able to handle Murray and Brighton. I think it should be a clean sheet for Edison. Next up, Trippier. I think Trippier is a must-have right now. He has three great fixtures coming up. He's on set pieces taking over Ericsson. Clean sheet points to come into. I think last game I was absolutely I was just pissed that he didn't get a clean sheet. Last minute, Harry Kane misses 1-on-1 and the score on the other end. But he got an assist from he earned the penalty obviously through his free kick. But yeah, I think Trippier is a must-have. Wan-Bissaka, Bennett, I think these two are must-haves. They're 4 million. Great fixtures. I mean, even if they don't have good fixtures, you can always put them on the bench considering they're only 4 million. So that's what I mean. I'm starting him this week. I usually start Luke Shaw, but I think United is going to concede against West Ham. West Ham's home. They picked up their form on the right time, so that's why Luke Shaw's on the bench. And yeah, that's my defense. I think it's a pretty solid. It's not a solid defense, but considering the fixtures, I think they should get me at least 20 points in total, which is pretty good for defense without attacking returns. I think 3 of them should keep a clean sheet. And yeah, my midfield, I used my transfer this week on Mane. I had Son. I just put Son as a differential, and I had 1.7 million in my bank, and that just adds up to 10 million exactly. So I brought in Mane. I had to get a Liverpool player. I had three Liverpool players in my first 4 game weeks, and that's one of the reasons my rank is really high. Mane. I captained Mane. In my first week, he got me 32 points. I captained Aguero. In my second week, I got 40 points. So for me, FPL is all about captains. You want to do well, you gotta captain the right choice. And my philosophy is, I mean, don't captain the same player every week. Like for example, Mane got 2 goals in the first game week. He's not gonna score 2 again. I mean, he could, but like the probability is he's not. Even though he scored 1 goal, but he's not gonna score 2. So I mean, I've been captaining Kane for the past few game weeks, but that's the reason because he's not stepping up, and I feel like there's gonna be a game within the next 3 game weeks where he is actually gonna step up. And he is going to get probably a hat-trick in one of those games. He scored off a penalty last week. He should have had a hat-trick considering the chances he had. But I'm just keeping my faith in the captain on Harry Kane right now. Might change in the next few game weeks until they face City. I think Harry Kane is going to stay captain. Hazard for next week. I wouldn't captain him. He's playing Liverpool. Liverpool great form. They are home though. So I think if Chelsea do score, I think he's going to be involved. But I wouldn't captain him. If you want to go ahead, if they score, he's probably going to get points. But it's a risk for me because I don't think Chelsea's going to score more than maybe 1 or 2 goals. So the risk is really high here. Maddison, I think, must have. I can't emphasize much on Maddison. He's playing Newcastle, who are they're on the low right now. Even though they're away, Leicester have been pretty decent this season. They're getting the points. They're losing, but they're also getting the points. So I think Maddison is a great choice. 6.7 million. He's racking up points. He's on set pieces. Scored an excellent free kick last game. I think he's in for a big season, and his England call-up is really, really close for me. Mane, again, like I said, I think he's going to have a better season than Salah this year. I think you should avoid Salah. You should go for Mane. Way cheaper. You can put those funds somewhere else. I mean, don't get me wrong, Salah's probably going to score 20 goals again, but he's not going to get those games where he's going to score 2 goals every game, you know. I think he averaged like 7 points last season on every game, which is ridiculous. That's not going to happen again. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, Mane, I think if you want to get into the Liverpool midfield, if you don't want Salah, Mane is a perfect choice. Theo Walcott, like I said, I would have transferred him out by now, but I just haven't had the chance. I've used my transfer somewhere else because of injuries to Mendy and stuff like that, so I'm sticking with him. I think he could step up. Richarlison's back. This should help him. Fulham at home. He could get points. But the only thing I don't like about Walcott is he never plays for the whole game, which pisses me off sometimes. But I mean, it is what it is. I can't complain. So next up, Jimenez. Like I said, Jimenez could get goals against Southampton. Should get goals for me. He's taking the most shots. One of them, for a 5 million striker, I think you should have him in your team. I would rather have him over Zaha. Because Zaha doesn't get the bonus points. I mean, Zaha scores like almost every game, but at the end of the week, you see he only has 6 points. He picks up a yellow card. I mean, he gets fouled a lot, so he gets pissed off, and he kind of likes getting into like fights and shit. But I'd stick with Jimenez. Like I said about Aubameyang, I would go with Lacazette. I have no choice, but I think if you have Aubameyang from the like me from game week 1, you should stick with him. He's gonna get points. He will. Just you gotta have patience. And last but not least, my captain for this week is gonna be Harry Kane. I think his time is coming. He's been out of form. I think that was because of the World Cup, but it's all behind now. And the reason I used my wild card was for Harry Kane, and I'm a Spurs fan. But yeah, don't make fun of me, please. But Harry Kane, I think he's gonna get points this week. It's a great fixture. It couldn't get easier for Spurs now. They're kind of on the low right now. They barely beat Brighton for me, but I think Harry Kane should step up against Huddersfield. I think they could score 3-4 goals Spurs, and Harry Kane should, for me, get a brace and get his season kicked off. My bench, nothing special here. Luke Shaw still might replace him with Wan-Bissaka or Bennett. I'm still really confused about this situation, whether I should start Luke Shaw or I should bench him for this week. Please let me know in the comments below. This is my video for today. So tomorrow I'm gonna be looking at captain choices other than Kane. I'm gonna talk about all of that, captain choices, and it's not just about fantasy. This channel, I'm gonna be making predictions for all the fixtures. I'm gonna be making analysis and everything, but mostly fantasy. I want to give out tips. I want to help out other people, and don't forget to join my league. It's gonna be in my description, the code for my league. And yep, that's it for today. Please subscribe, get this channel growing. I think I'm not being cocky or any of that bullshit, but I think I'm a better player. I'm a better fantasy manager than all the other YouTubers who make videos of fantasy. Because I watch their videos and all the stuff they're saying is kind of like common sense when it comes to fantasy. But what I give is kind of my instinct, like what I think is gonna happen, and I think like just watch the videos and you'll find out. I can't explain this, but yeah, please subscribe, leave a comment below what you think of the videos, what I should be changing. I know it's early days, just my second video, and yeah, please let me know how this video went. Please let me know if I should be showing my face as well in this video, if that helps. I don't know if that helps, but just let me know. Thanks. Bye.